Hello, beautiful people. How are all of you doing today? Wait, I just realized I haven't posted the fucking banner review, have I? Ah, fuck. I'll post that today. Agreed. Hello! You still have a special place in my heart. Okay, chat. Chat. Wait, why was the game category ZZZ? Am I an idiot? God, I think I have stupid. Oopsie. Oopsie! Anyways. Alright, chat. I think I kind of want to start right into it with calcs. Thoughts? Molani 200k DPS calcs. Okay, let's not get too crazy. Okay, let's not get too crazy. All right. So base HP, HP percent, flat HP, total HP. For base HP, 15,185. Okay. HP percent. Are you gonna go HP sends or EM sends? I feel like it depends on the team. I think there's some teams where you'd want to go HP sends. If you're playing her with Farina, I think there's a decent chance you lose out on vapes here and there, so it's probably better to go HP. Yeah, let's do that for now. Okay, but what do her teams look like? So basically what she does, right, is she does one nuke and then another nuke, maybe. And then in some rare situations, a third nuke. She's Child? Yeah, it's like if Child had an ult and then another ult and then another ult. But yeah, I think for now, I just want to look at, like, probably a 2-skill rotation. Or a 2 normal attack rotation, I mean. 1 skill, 2 normal attacks. Just like a little bit, you nuke every 2 seconds, you don't. From what I've seen, you are getting, against most single target enemies, only 2 shots off. Yeah, I'll take a look at it later, Sparrow. In AoE, you can stack a lot faster, so you can get 3. But in single target, you only get 2. But she could be able to do short rotations. Like, I could see Milani, Bennett, Kazuha, Zhongli on a 15-second rotation being pretty strong. Yeah. Let's do 2 for now. Just Farina, Baiju, Changling, and Bennett, Kazuha, Zhongli. Why are you? Why not Siege Win? Why Siege Win? In which ones of these teams? Both of these teams would be made worse by Siege Win. What are you? What? Anyways, with this one, you get Power Resonance. But why Bennett? So you can infuse Kazuha. You might also be able to do Shinyan. How does Kazuha burst work with Shinyan again? I forgot. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. You need to have self pyro up. Because you need Kazuha to work as your off-field pyro, but you also need him to swirl Hydro, and you don't want to do a really long rotation, otherwise you're going to lose your Hydro uptime, or Hydro swirl uptime. Global swirl? I mean, yeah, you could just use Sucrose and Changling instead of Kazuha. That would indeed work. How does it work with Shinyan again though? I gotta double check. If Shinyan works, she might actually be good though. Because a shield is actually kind of useful.
This heavy rain.
Feel the beat.
Settle down.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Oh, that doesn't work.
Wind strike.
But maybe you can do like the quick, like the fast swap. No, you can't. Maybe. Can you? Do you have time to get the pyro infused? On a hold E on Kazuha.
Downpour certainly rouses the spirit. Power cord.
Silence.
One with
You
nature.
do. Because you do need to hold E.
Time to go.
Actually, you could also just. In single target? Wait, maybe Shinyan is actually the play, chat.
Certainly rouses.
Axe in single target, you can do something like this.
Settle.
As one with wind and cloud.
Obviously, her op is a lot slower, so. I think it's actually a Shinyan team.
Wind strike.
And you can do... Wait, no, but... What's Shinyan's skill cooldown again? Surely it's not 20, right? It's 18. That does slow down your rotations compared to Bennett. You can do 15-second rotations with Bennett. But maybe you can use her on Sack. And it makes it not that bad. But that means you can't use Fav. Although you don't really want to have to build a lot of crit anyways. She doesn't have too much multi-hit stuff.
Certainly rouses the spirit. But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops.
Burst applies a level 3 shield. Yeah, but the app from the shield can kind of fuck up your setups a little bit.
Silence.
Right, like you need to apply Hydro 3 times in a row to remove it instead of 2 times in a row, which is a little too much, I think. I mean, realistically, I don't mind the idea of 18-second rotations anyways. Let's take a look at it with Shinyan. Because unironically, a shield is going to be very useful. Right? I think she's relatively vulnerable to getting interrupted. So this is actually going to be pretty useful. But that means we don't need Zhongli. What do we use instead of Zhongli? You don't really have anything else you can use, though. That's the problem. Alright? A Dendro unit makes your Hydro Swirls too hard. Another Pyro unit also makes your Hydro Swirls too hard. And none of them really give you an upside anyways. Is it actually just Katrina? Honestly, it might be. What's her cooldowns again? Hmm, 20 seconds. I don't like that. No.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine.
Oh no, that doesn't help.
To take pride in fulfilling my duties.
Oh no, chat. Wait, no, never mind. I don't know, actually. Second Animo? Second Animo just for the fucking cooldown? Honestly, I think you're right. I think Sucrose has the M buff. Plus the cooldown. Probably is the best thing you can do. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you really just don't have a good third partner yet. Or a good fourth partner yet.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
Alright. Flat HP. Okay, no. HP percent, so we got that. Yeah, for now we're just gonna do double. But we can also look at Chengling, Sucrose, Zhongli. And unironically, I think this is a don't burst on Chengling team. Oh god. That is hilarious. Guoba's enough up. Kinda. Guoba plus Sucrose Burst is definitely enough up. Maybe you alternate. You do like 12-ish second rotations. If you, I don't think 12 seconds would work, but like, you do like 15-second rotations, alternating Sucrose and Xiangling Burst. Anyways, so let's say 30% from subs. I think Gachina is better in place of Sucrose. It's easier, and team already has a 20-second rotation because of Xiangling. No. Again, you're not necessarily reliant on the ult. And, you know, more importantly, VV. You forget about VV? The one? Yeah. VV is kind of a big deal. Yeah, 30% from subs and then 25% from Hydro Resonance. Flat HP, about 5k. And then this one will not have Hydro Resonance. Okay. Damage percent. But we can take a look at a team with Kachina. Don't like. I don't mind. We'll look at a bunch of stuff. Ain't no way Shinyan is a teammate. I stand by it. I think Shinyan will be one of her possible teammates. What weapon is she using here? That's a good question. What weapon should we use? I'm not a fan. I mean, sure. We'll take a look at that too, but I don't know. New craftable 4-star? Which one is a craftable? Is it this one? Yeah, sure. Plus 41.3. Okay. Damage percent normal attack, damage percent Q. So in this team with Farina, 50 times 0.5%, 36.6. Oh, it's not there yet. Plus 20. I think that's it. Is there any other sorts of damage percent here? Do you have any in her kit? Maybe she does. No, she does not. Okay, and then plus the weapon, which is minimum of 32% and this divided by 1,000 times 0.5%. Okay. Then these two, so here we don't have the Farina buff. We do have the Kazuha buff, which is in this case like are you even getting Sucrose? And the second one might actually be rough. I don't know. Right, because like this buff is easy to proc. This one you might not proc. Maybe Sucrose isn't worth it. I mean, even if you just get this one, it's still fucking insane, right? Sucrose, my goat. Sorry, even if you just get this one, it's still pretty damn high. Alright, whatever. Okay, and this one, you do not get these sorts of damage at all. Okay. We got EM multiplier. EM in this team would be a lot lower. Yeah, then we could also have the like default Zhongli, Nahida, Shangling. The main thing about this team is like you get to have less or more flexible rotations. But I don't know if they're actually gonna end up better. So EM is gonna be like around 100 probably, something like this. And with this one, 100 plus what you get from Sucrose. And you would probably have Sucrose on Instructor here. Actually, you'd probably have Baiju. No, you can't have Baiju on Instructor. That doesn't exist. Never mind. So 100 plus. I don't know, like 150 from Sucrose. And Sucrose can be on Instructor. Maybe like 140 if she's on Instructor, and then 120. Then this one. This one is gonna have similar, but you're not gonna get instructor. You could get instructor on Zhongli. Yeah, actually, you do still get instructor, and you get a little bit more because it's 5-star artifacts and sucrose. Then this one. You don't have sucrose anymore, but you can still have Zhongli on instructor. You really need a healer? You don't need it, but if you get staggered during your skill, you might just not get a single attack off. And that's all good. Nahida Yem buff? Yeah, that's true. Do you use her ult every rotation? Kinda sounds like it. Eh. Maybe. Alright, whatever. Yeah, multiplier is what? 5 divided by 9. M divided by 1. Okay? Doesn't she do normal attack damage? So wouldn't Toma? She uses like 1 to 2 normal attacks per rotation. Toma is not gonna be all that good. Crit value, crit multiplier. Crit value. She ascends with crit, right? So 98.4 plus 20 times 6.6 plus 80 from the fucking insanely broken set that they gave it. And that's the same for all of these. Crit multiplier. This squared divided by 8 plus 1. Oh yeah, I forgot the fucking circlet. Ain't no way. There we go. Isn't that crit rate a bit high? No, it's the same as other characters. You gain 19% from Ascension, but you are at 24 because you start with 5. Okay, effective HP. Effective HP. Effective HP. Vape. NA. Effective HP. NA. Effective HP. Vape. Got total HP multiplied by 1 plus damage percent multiplied by EM multiplier multiplied by a crit multiplier. Here it's the same thing but without the EM multiplier. Here it's the same thing but with damage percent on. Okay. Motion value, vape NA, value NA, motion value, vape Q. In this team, probably getting one of these, but you're getting this every rotation. Right? So this is 49.2 plus 12.3 times 3 plus 36.9. Put it on there. But it's easier to work with. On. But because it's vape, it's times 1.5 as well. And then vape Q. You're getting at least 2 Night Soul Burst. I don't know if you're getting 3. I'm not entirely sure, because we don't know what the base cooldown of Night Soul Burst is. I'm gonna assume 2 for now. Oh yeah, for very this time. I forgot it was forward vape, yeah. And then this is 101.5 times 2. Milani's vaping in that Farina team? Yesn't. She can vape. You have to time your stuff properly. But because she only hits 3 times per rotation, timing it properly isn't like, you know, trying to time properly something that hits 10 times per rotation, right? Like, it's a lot more doable. Anyways, in this team, I think you're getting divided by 2 on the vape Q, because you're not getting it every rotation, you just don't have that energy generation. But this is another times 2 when you don't have a non-vaped one. And I think that's going to be the same thing for the others as well. Makes her damage. This is times 0.9. This is times 1.15. This is also times... No, this is times 1.25. And this is times 1.05? 0.0. Which makes a lot of sense to me so far. So this is damage, not DPS. Right? And again, keep in mind that all of this is like with a massive grain of salt, because we haven't actually seen footage of these rotations. We don't know if they're actually doable. This rotation I would expect to take actually like reliably 21, 22 seconds. So this divided by 22. This rotation, I think you can do reliably 18. This rotation, gonna be 21. And this one's kind of weird because you don't have a strict rotation. So it's very possible that it's faster than the Chanling's cooldown. Want to explain why we have Shinin, Kaza, and Zukos on the same team? Shinyan is there to get you your Pyro Swirl without having to apply Pyro to the enemy. And then Sucrose is there because there's no good 4th slot for that team. And Sucrose is energy for Kazuha and a bunch of Elemental Mastery. And for a character that vapes all of their damage, a bunch of Elemental Mastery is pretty good.
But it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
What is Shinyan using this team? Probably just TOM for shield strength. I don't think it matters that much. But yeah, like it's worth keeping in mind that in this team you also have Farina doing very decent damage because she is also forward vaping a good portion of her damage, right? Like, keep that in mind. Yeah, I guess you can use a new set for 15 damage %. True. But yeah, this one, the DPS, I really don't know. I feel like
They are the pride of Fontaine.
it is very possible
cause them no harm.
It's 25, not 15 now? Oh, really? Did they change it? Oh, shit, they did. It used to be 15 and then 30, now it's 25, 25. So it's a buff all the way around. That is kind of crazy. It's different in syntax? Okay. Well, we'll see later, but whatever. I think in, like, the best possible case scenario, this rotation can probably happen every, like, 16 seconds.
Water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru...
Molani, N4Q? Are you an idiot?
But it must be savored patiently.
N4. Huh? Like, you mean 4 of the big normal attacks? Or do you mean 1 of the 3 stack normal attack?
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to be
Delulu.
And cause them no harm.
No, but... but yeah, like, the order of things in this sounds right. It makes sense. But you're not getting an N4.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a...
But yeah, it is worth mentioning that, like, against some enemies, like, from what I've seen, okay,
flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully...
The stack generation depends a lot on enemy hitbox. Some enemies are a lot easier to stack on than others. And because of that, it's possible that there's some enemies where you can't even get to, right? And if you can't get to, that 67k becomes 38k. That's huge. That's a massive difference, right? But when you're in AoE, and there's multiple enemies you can stack on, you can get 3. And then, yeah, you reduce their damage because in AoE it reduces damage, right? Like fucking 24%, but like whatever. But you get 3 instead of 2, and that's a lot stronger, right? Yeah, let's take a look at what TGS has to say about her.
Guys, this video is about my first impressions on Moani, one of the first NATLAN characters that we recently got some info about. As a character of a new region, she's got quite a few mechanics that are new in terms of terminologies, so getting the hang of it might take some time, even for me actually. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Moani is a Hydro Cut is an elemental skill. This skill will make her enter a stance where she will use a shark as a surfing board and basically float on the field through that. This stance has a duration obviously, which is limited by a point system that is very similar to Wanderers for example. During this duration, Muani can generate special effects by making contact with enemies and attacking them with normal attacks. First, if she makes contact at all with them, she will mark them and also gain a stack. These stacks can go up to 3 and will be useful for normal attack damage. The intent here is for her to gain stacks by surfing through opponents and then unleash them through an attack, but it's worth noting that while this looks fun in theory, it might take some practice for players to master the movements required and execute them flawlessly. Anyway, as I just mentioned, the stacks increase their normal attacks damage. These normal attacks can be used every 2 seconds, and they're basically a shark bite that looks to be quite single target oriented in actuality. Before jumping to the numbers, I want to point out that the delay between the attacks has been set having in mind that this will allow her to trigger front vaporizes consistently, something that wouldn't be possible if her hydro application was more frequent. Basically, with the right pyro support, she can trigger vaporize on every.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys though.
They are the
Again, from what I've seen with the way that stack generation works, it really like you don't need a very specific pyro unit. Pretty much every pyro unit is able to provide enough pyro for her.
Hit. But the thing is, she doesn't hit a lot of times. For this to be fair, the numbers need to be high, and they most definitely are. Even without stacks, Mulan's attack values are quite high, and they obviously scale off HP. With stacks, specifically at 3 stacks, they become strong enough that each of those attacks can combine enough to use 3 normal attacks, and out of that, in terms of duration, it seems that it lasts 6 seconds as a baseline and can be extended to 8 after using a full stack normal attack, which triggers her first passive and extension through the point system. This will be roughly enough to use 3 normal attacks, and out of those, only 2 will be fully stacked. On the flip side, the skill only has a 6 and
Yeah, so that's again from what I've seen. Again, some enemies might be doable, but as a general rule, I don't even know if you'll be able to get 2 reliably.
out of those, only 2 will be fully stacked. On the flip side, the skill only has a 6 seconds cooldown, and so you can easily structure rotations in ways you can use the skill twice.
That is
rotations
not true. This is not true. At all. This is wrong. I'm pretty sure her cooldown starts at the end of her state, not at the start. Which means that her actual cooldown would be, if you're doing 8 seconds of surfing, would be 14 seconds.
And so you can easily structure rotations in ways you can use the skill twice.
Right, like you are not getting 2 full windows in 16 seconds. That's not happening.
These rotations will be longer than 20 seconds, and they're pretty similar in structure to Ayato double elemental skill rotations, since Ayato roughly has the same uptime and cooldowns. The difference.
Oh, okay. This is just. Oh, this is just. Oh, okay, never mind then. This is across 2 windows over a 28-second rotation, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
Is that Mulanni justifies this type of usage way more by virtue of being a massively stronger character damage-wise. Moving on, while her shark bites don't have a lot of range, hitting an opponent that has previously been marked.
Increase your mic volume? I literally can't. My mic is maxed out both on OBS and like physically. Actually, is it? Yeah, it is. Both on OBS and like on the like volume thing on the mic, everything is maxed out. I literally cannot increase my mic volume.
Through Mulanni's surfing will generate hits to up to 5 nearby enemies. The damage of these hits will be a slightly reduced version of the main attack, so it's not like her AoE potential is particularly bad or anything. The more concerning issue is the possible variance in terms of damage if you can surf well enough through opponents to get 2 fully stacked normal attacks per elemental skill. The third stack in particular seems to be a massive damage increase, and missing out on that alone will result in a significant damage loss. While this is not ideal, I think this is a fair way.
Wait, what do you mean 4 full stack? What does that mean?
Well enough through opponents to get 2 fully stacked normal attacks per elemental skill. The third stack in particular seems to be a massive damage increase, and missing out.
Maybe the access is just poorly. Like, the stuff is not written properly.
On that alone will result.
Oh no, it's 4 being full. I see. Okay.
In a significant damage loss. While this is not ideal, I think this is a fair way to balance a character with such high damage values, but some people might find this variance clunky, so it's worth mentioning. Lastly, her elemental burst is a pretty simple attack with moderately high HP base values. It's a pretty strong single instance hit that can reach high amounts of damage if vaped, but it's certainly not the core point of her kit. And that's it basically, that's all there is to her. Now I will go more in depth on what I think about her currently and what her themes look like to be, but first let me remind you that if you enjoy my channel but you haven't subbed.
Wait. Second shot.
Yet please consider doing so because it really makes me notice your support. So, as you might have noticed from my previous explanations, Mulaney's ceiling damage is really impressive, but she has some caveats that might limit down in practice. For starters, Mulaney's damage is honestly high enough that it can even surpass Nuvolets at
Okay, you are not doing a 26-second rotation. This is the axis, 26-second rotation. You're not doing a 26-second rotation with 2 skills. That is not happening. That is not going to be no, it is not.
equal investment. An impressive feat for any character, but an honestly required one for a new Hydro DPS if they want to be remotely interesting. Still, she doesn't seem to share its same gameplay quality of life and practicality. Nuvolets is extremely easy to play, and all of its damage is almost guaranteed to hit all the opponents in its horizontal range. Meanwhile, Mulaney seems to be more traditional in terms of gameplay optimization, and there are also a few things that can go wrong during her rotations. If I had to describe it, the damage variance thing kinda makes it like a Futao situation, where the theoretical ceiling is impressively above a lot of other characters, but the practical one might not consistently be like that. At the very least, however, she seems to have some nice interruption resistance. It's not full, but she has some, and she won't be knocked away like somebody like Wanderer does, for example. Anyway, another issue to me is that she gets a lot of crit rate for free. First, she has a crit rate Ascension passive, and second, the new NATLAN signature set gives 40%.
Yeah, this one's kind of rough. She starts with a lot of
crit rate through its 4-piece effect.
So pretty much all the crit rate weapons are going to be awful for her.
Even more than the Marashuse Hunter of full stacks. By themselves, these two factors are manageable stat-wise, but it's kinda weird if you think about their possible best 4-star option, the Battle Pass weapon Sacrificial Jade, which comes with an astounding 37% crit rate secondary stat. The way things are now, if she uses Jade, she will overcap on crit rate even with no crit rate stats on artifacts. This makes Jade a relatively unimpressive upgrade compared to free-to-play options like Proto Amber or the new NATLAN craftable for moew.
I feel like I'm missing something. I'm wondering what team he's using for this, because like 1.2 mil DPR, if you're getting, because he was using 4 fully stacked bites and 2 non-fully stacked bites. This should be a lot more. Frida Kazuha Jongli. No, that's for Nevida. Frida Kazuha Charlotte? What? Why isn't he vaping? I guess because he's doing Farina, but I don't know, man.
Muani, while for Neuvillette, Jade is a saving grace that can even compete with his signature. Still, her team numbers sure as hell look amazing. These are just preliminary calcs, so I didn't really want to do much, but she can easily surpass a million in personal damage on a Furina double Hydro team with a free-to-play weapon. Of course, this is assuming you can pull off the best combo on both her uptime windows. With her signature, so a weapon that fits her characteristics much better than a free-to-play weapon, the damage numbers start looking even more tremendous. While this is definitely all great, note that I'm taking into account the new NATLAN supportive set for these calcs, which is really good and will benefit a lot of teams, so don't compare these infographics to my older ones just yet. Meanwhile, for Vape, the fact you can trigger Vaporides on each of her high value hits makes the fate seamless.
Why her?
And their damage skyrocket to values that might signify the new damage ceiling for Genshin, even by putting her on meme lineups like a
I mean, I get it. It's a bit of a buff, but I don't know. At that point, why not just use Kazuha? He gives the same buff, but he also can give you VV, you know?
Ling, Zhongli, and
I
one
guess it's
within
just a lot
Candace
easier to play, but I don't know. I'm
and
not a fan.
Ayatok, so options that will only provide high resonance and a normal attack damage bonus through the elemental burst. The team damage looks extremely high.
But also, like, you can't do a 25-second rotation if you have an 8-second duration skill with a 6-second cooldown that starts at the end of the duration that you're using twice. Like, at the bare minimum, that's 8 times 2 plus 6 times 2, which is 28, which doesn't work.
I'm almost hesitant to show this honestly because it's so high and it's so early in beta, so definitely take this with a huge grain of salt, please. But at the same time, I think the devs know what it means to release a Hydro DPS in a context where Neuvillette dominates, so they know they need to make it work. She's a character that I'm excited about personally because she makes it clear that however
Is he swapping off early? Well, you're also, from what I've seen, incredibly unlikely to actually get a third fight off. So he sure as fuck is not swapping off early if he's getting 3 reliably.
doesn't want the meta to get stale. Rather, they want to give players exciting new reasons to pull for new characters. They already showed this in the previous regions and in Fontaine especially, and NATLAN is further confirmation of this fact seemingly. And with this, I'm done for today.
But yeah, I think there's a few things that I think you just missed in this one. But like, there's only so much we can do with a lot of the information we have right now, so I don't really blame him. But yeah, like the rotations I don't think actually work. Like cooldown wise, and yeah, uptime wise. And I also really think it's worth doing VV for her, because I mean, why wouldn't you? You know? Right, like, keep in mind, she's a catalyst user. She can apply Hydro for your setup whenever you want. If Vivi then double swirl, there's no real need to double swirl, because it's not like you're doing pyro damage on the team. But you probably will end up getting a pyro swirl just by virtue of the fact that you're probably using your animal unit as a way to apply pyro. Right, like, we're gonna pretend that Neuvillette is
What shall we do?
I want to help.
that Neuvillette is her. Right? I just realized I forgot to use this. It's fine. Let me also get sack. Where the hell is there? It is. Wait, what? Bro, can you? Why is he doing cringe shit? Yeah. So, right, you're gonna do something like this?
Be sanctified.
Get a one hit. Get another hit. And then use your ult. And then do it again.
Power core.
Wind strike. Falling leaves. Adorn.
Absorption test.
Get one hit. Get another hit.
Don't break
That's
the
pretty much it. Why did I tune into double Animo, Shinyan, Navila? I'm looking into Molani teams right now. How much Hydro does the surfing apply? It does not apply Hydro from what I've seen. Yeah, and obviously you could use Bennett over Shinyan. But this lets you use Bennett on the other team, and it gives you a shield while also letting you use Zhongli on the other team if you want him there. I think if you want to play with Bennett, you probably do want to have a shield on the last slot. So something like this with Bennett Zhongli.
Gonna be epic.
Which is also a doable rotation, but maybe a little bit more cringe, I guess. Also, wait, I gotta get my ult. And so, for this one, you start with Bennett,
Everybody
then you do this, then this,
The winds will
and you ult,
as one with wind and
and then
cloud.
do the first one, then you do the second one, and then you swap off. And you go back to Bennett, do your thing. Energy generation might be a bit of a problem in a team like this, though. Why not Toma instead? Because how are you getting your Pyro Swirl if you're using Toma? Or how are you getting your Hydro Swirl without, like, while also applying Pyro properly to the enemies? You're reliant on the fact that you're self-infusing Pyro. Otherwise, shit gets weird. And that's why I was using Shinyan earlier, because Shinyan's shield self-applies Pyro when you swap. So you can use it as your way to get Kazuha to become your Pyro applicator.
Ow.
Just normal attack? I mean, how? If you want to swirl Hydro with Kazuha, I guess you can, like, do the drop cancel, not do your plunge. But, like, that's just even more cringe, and, like, why? Toma's shield isn't actually better than Shinyan's shield in a team with Molani, because in order for Toma's shield to be good, you need to spam normal attacks, and Molani normal attacks, like, twice. So you're not getting anything. Like your shield is going to be really weak. Your rotation is going to be harder to do. Like, what's the upside? You're becoming burst reliant instead of being able to get away with Shinyan, who is not burst reliant at all.
Let's go find some treasure.
And like, if you want to extend your rotation, a nice upside that Shinyan has is that you can use her ult as your source of pyro app. So if the enemy's still alive but like not that tanky and you don't want to expend a full rotation, right? You don't want to wait until Kazo has ult expire so you can reapply Hydro and re-swirl. You can just Shinyan ult and then go back to Molani. And you have Pyro App from Shinyan's level 3 shield that you get from the ult once you have C2 plus on her. Balls Deluxe indeed. Just looks at leaks and there's no Pyro MC. Should I be surprised? No, it's because I said that I wasn't going to look at Pyro MC leaks. And so Hoyo heard me and was like, well, if Zajef isn't going to look at it, then what would even be the point of leaking it? And like, yeah, so true. RMC could already be good if he can use a support stand that has off-field pyro up. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I wonder, if you want to make the team easier to play, you could always replace Sucrose with Zhongli, right? And if you do that, what happens? You lose decent amount of EM, but you gain this. Yeah, so it's very similar DPR, and it's going to be easier to play. But I guess the rotation is going to be a little bit longer, actually. Yeah.
Stand clear.
Let me try to get a good or a decent like rotation example.
Time to go.
Alright, so you do something like this.
Solidify. Settle down.
Feel the beat.
Fallen leaves. Adorn.
The tides beckon.
Like, that's pretty much how you do your setup, right? I don't know. The only, like, annoying part is Kazuha ER. Which, like, yeah. That's kind of annoying. That definitely do be. But yeah, like, that's not new. And you can always just put Shinyan, Kazuha, and Zhongli all on 5. And go ER Sands on Kazuha.
I carry
Well, Zyphos, it's on the banner. Meh.
this blade.
Zyphos isn't more energy than 5. It's less, actually. Like, I'm thinking 5 with ER Sands. You can't reach that amount of energy with Zyphos. Just can't be doable. I will say, though, The fact that Xinyan is arguably a better slot in for a team like this than Bennett is so nice. Like, really? I am so glad that Xinyan self-applies Pyro when you swap. It's so nice. Without it, man, I don't know. Molani's best team might just use Xinyan. Oh god.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties.
Xinyan needs C2? No, not at all. This is completely independent of her C2. The C2 can be helpful. Also, thank you for the raid, Talk. The C2 can be helpful, but it's mainly for, like, if the enemy has like 20% HP remaining at the end, you can just be like, okay, well, whatever, right? Go to Xinyan, use her ult, then go back to Molani and use another skill. But, like, that's not necessary. It's not part of the base rotation. What if you don't have Kaza? Does it work with Sucrose? It does not. But it does work with Sayu.
Catch up. Power cord. I'm out of here. Come on out.
Kinda. No, it doesn't, actually. I'm an idiot. You actually need the all-field Pyro app. Is there anything anyone? I mean, I guess it can work with Sucrose. It's just like Omega scuffed. Jean? No, Jean doesn't work.
Feel the beat. Absorption test. Animal hypostasis.
Right, like, it does work. It's just, you actually have to walk into it properly. And Sucrose ER requirements are even worse than Kazuha ER requirements.
Stand clear.
So, yeah. But it does work. You can make it work. You can make it work. Oh, fuck you. I'm leaving. Maybe Lynette? Maybe, yeah. Does Lynette's ult infuse off of, or absorb off of self-infusions? Any knowers in chat?
You lead the way.
I don't think it does. Does it? We'll take a look. Aww.
Zip on up.
It does not seem to, no. Maybe it does if she's infused with pyro as she casts it, perhaps. I'll give that a shot. Otherwise, it's a little scuffed, though.
Bow your
Feel the beat. Be amazed.
No, it does not.
Over here.
Yeah, so I guess if you don't want to deal with the sucrose stuff... Oh god. If you don't want to deal with the sucrose stuff, you probably just take the L. Maybe you can do like... I mean, this is not ideal, but you definitely could just do something like this. Oh, I don't have my fucking skill. Cool. Sick. Alright, but like you could always just do something like this. And your uptime isn't as good, but it does work. But you're dependent on the shield not breaking, because if the shield breaks, you lose your app. So it's a little bit more scuffed. And you need to have C2 Shinyan for this. But it's still doable.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate.
I guess maybe you don't even need to use your ult though, right? Like you can just do when you don't have your ult, if you don't build enough ER, right? You can just do this. And it's not that bad. Oh wait, I don't have ult on her either. Never mind. But you can alternate which ult you use. Right? Like first rotation you use Sucrose's ult, and then second rotation you use Shinyan's ult instead. What? That's not worth it. Alright, I mean that's interesting. What if Sunfire Gene with Instructor? Sunfire Gene doesn't work with Shinyan. Shinyan only applies Pyro to you when you swap, which means that you can only use that Pyro to do things once per swap. That's so Gene doesn't do anything. It's not like Bennett who reapplies Pyro. You could use Bennett though. It's just at that point, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're using Bennett Gene, 20-second rotation. You like wasting Bennett on her. Like I don't know. Feels a little suboptimal. Anyways. Oh, wow. Poggers. Crisp croissant combo. Wait, does that mean? Wait, you guys can see it. You guys can see it right here. You can see it right here. Usually you can't see how many promos I have, but now you can. Huge. One.
If there's fire in your soul, you gotta rock and roll. So come on, let's get moving.
True. Okay. Okay. Why is he testing Shinyan over Toma or Deya? Toma and Deya do not have a way to self-apply pyro to themselves, which means that if you want to swap into your animal unit and get a Hydro Swirl, you have to get a Hydro Swirl and then apply pyro, and in a lot of situations that's just kind of hard to set up properly. Whereas with Shinyan, because she self-applies pyro when you swap, you can use that self-application to infuse your stuff. And use that for your application. That way you don't... That way you can still swap into your animal unit, get your Hydro Swirl without a problem, and you'll still have your source of off-field pyro app.
Stand clear.
Oh, beige. Is it possible to do a Kaza hold E off Shenyun? I mean, yeah, but you don't have to. But you can if you need the grouping, yeah. Anyways, I think Milani is looking pretty strong. Her kid is cool, but it's not as cool as Kanich. So, she's probably not gonna get Zajef cursed. Probably. Kanich, on the other hand, might get Zajef cursed. Fernando, also keep in mind that Deya's skill is 20-second cooldown, which slows down your rotations as well.
Can I go take a look?
And you don't get good duration on your resistance to interruption.
I just need a moment to quickly take down some notes.
What do you think of burst support Kanich with Sino? I mean, listen, you really want to do that, you knock yourself out. Just know that it's gonna be Sino, Kanich's worst team. True. Anyways, Well, let's look at him.
What was that? Oh. Let's go.
So, yeah, like, well, one of the things I'm not sure about is we don't actually have any information on NATLAN cooldown. And so, I don't know how many procs of this I should assume. I'm gonna assume 1 proc per E, I think. Like, per big bullet. I don't know, it might be more, or it might be less. Anyways. Base attack! 332 plus... Do we use Earthshaker? Or do we use something else? Probably just use Earthshaker. Yeah. Attack percent, 27.6. Plus... Okay. What team are we looking at? We're looking at... Bennett... Strangling... Emily. I think. First. Okay. Flat attack. Total attack. I am once again asking for a summary of the kit because of my skatebarked brain. Okay, I can do it for both. What she does is she, like, what Molani does is she surfs. Like, she goes onto her shark and she surfs, and every time she comes into contact with an enemy, she gains a stack. At 3 stacks, she can unleash a big damage normal attack. That's pretty much it. Kanich hooks onto enemies. And starts spinning around them. While he's spinning, he gains stacks of his Night Soul meter. And once that meter is full, he can unleash a big shot. Pew pew. But yeah, I am gonna need... Okay, so damage percent So he's gonna have 20% from the new set. He's gonna have 32% from this shit. He's gonna have 46.6%. Then in this team, that's it, right? I think so. Three's action? Kinda, yeah. Crit value, I believe is crit ascension as well, right? Yeah. Oh, he's crit damage ascension. Thank fucking god. How does a grapple work in AoE? It hooks onto the nearest enemy, but you can hold it to choose the enemy instead. 98.4, 62.2, 20 times 6.6, 80. Active attack E. Okay. Does this count as normal attack damage or skill damage? It is skill damage. Okay, it's all skill damage. Cool. I guess this rest could just be Q, because that's it. Okay. In a burning team, you can probably get 4. And you probably get 2 sets of normal attacks in between each. Maybe 3. So, 109.1% times 2 times 2 times 4. Plus 1018.2% plus 320 times 4. Okay. Emotion value Q. I think it's every 2 seconds that it hits, right? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It's such little damage. Something like this, whatever. Was it assume uptime on A4? For now, I'm assuming that you get about one per cannon on average. Yeah, this is kind of good. And by the way, just for comparison, okay? Let's see what happens if he's on the burning set instead. Yeah. So 10% more DPS from the new set than the burning set. Burning set dead in the fucking water. Finally have a character where the burning set would actually be good. And completely blown out of the park by the new set that's coming out. That's, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Ugh. I guess you have him deep wood in his teams. Yep. Yep. Although, unironically, you could give Xiangling Deepwood. Right? When you're playing a burning team like this with Xiangling, and Xiangling is not getting VV, her personal damage starts tanking a decent amount. Right? No VV, no buff from like Kazuha or something. Somewhat higher ER requirements. And yeah, at that point you could go for like Deepwood Toma instead. Get yourself a nice little 15% additional damage. And actually get a shield. Yeah, you would want to have Emily on Deepwood for sure. Well, either Emily on Deepwood or someone else on Deepwood, but you would definitely want someone on Deepwood on the team, 100%. In this team, you probably have either Emily or Xiangling. It doesn't matter. In this team, you definitely want Toma on Deepwood. Is this DPS calc with Emily's damage included? No, this is only Kenichi's personal damage. Non-MD teams? I mean, this is not team DPS, so like, it's not gonna tell you too much, right? Like, if you don't use MD and you use like, I don't know, Zhongli instead. You gain like 10% damage, but you're losing out on all of Emily's damage. Probably gonna work though, because like this is still good enough, pretty much by itself, to be a fine team. If you want something really comfortable, like it'll be fine. But and if you don't have, obviously, if you don't have Emily. Are the new DPS doing this much damage a good thing? I don't know. It definitely is. I mean, I've said it before, right? That kind of marks the start of Genshin doing actual power creep. Yeah. It is what it is. Anyways, this is interesting. Discord link is cooked. Fuck! Chat, I am once again asking for those of you guys that would be willing to do it to fucking boost the Discord server so that I don't have to fucking redo this every fucking 5 days. Should be fixed, I think. Wouldn't it be kind of weird to stay in Bennett circle with a hook movement? Not really. You just hook close to an enemy, and if you're hooking far, you can just fucking and keep changing direction to stay in Bennett buff. Like, it shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Any non-Bennett teams? No? I mean, you can do a non-Bennett team, but it's gonna be worse. Like, you're gonna have to be okay with that. But you can probably do something like, Farina, Baiju, Changling. That'll work. Maybe it's better, actually. I don't know, actually. Maybe you don't have enough burning up time. I don't know. You could do Bennett, Farina, Shangling if you don't have Emily. That's true. Kinda. Probably, yeah. But yeah. Why do we need burn up time? Because his kit wants you to have burn. If he generates a lot more points for his meter if enemies are burning or if you trigger Burgeon. Does he need MED? He doesn't need MED, but I do expect MED teams to be his best teams. You really needed Sherling for Kanish? Not necessarily. It'll depend on the team, I think. But like something like this is gonna work for sure. Like Benatola MED for sure. Like that works. Honestly, you could use Toma here. Honestly, like It would work. Like, you could actually do something like Farina, Sijuin, Toma. Like, this is something that could function. Yeah. Because... oh. Omega. Like, Toma triggering Burgeon should be enough. You should be able to reliably trigger Burgeon off of, like, passive cooldown with Toma. Can you play Nahida instead of Emily? You can, but it's gonna be worse. She does a lot less damage in, like, non-reaction teams like this.
Can I go take a look?
The attacks count as normal attack animations? Yeah, from what I've seen, they do. Works like Raiden. So we'll work with Beto, but we'll work with Toma and Singso.
I just need a moment to quickly take down some notes.
But yeah, honestly, I would not be surprised if both of these characters receive nerfs throughout the beta. I think it's very possible that they both do. Gonna talk about Kachina too? Why? And say what? What is the point?
I haven't been out in a while.
Anyways. Honestly, I feel like that might just be it for the day. I'm kind of tired. Tomorrow we'll actually do some 4.8 exploration and look more into some more of the teams. Maybe do some actual team DPS calcs, even if I fucking hate doing that shit. Dies of dies.
What was that? Oh, it's gone. Can I go take a look?
We can. Yeah, I didn't want to post the banner review. Shit, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. I would have forgore again. I think I will title it, The Queen Has Returned. Open parenthesis, Ave. Thoughts? Okay. Video has been posted as usual. If you can find it through YouTube, it helps with the algorithm more, but otherwise, I understand. Here's the link. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.